Looter shooters are a hoarder's nightmare. There always seems to be too many drops and not enough inventory space. Now, while the first Descendant isn't quite like Borderlands, it does still offer piles of loot to pick up and sift through. And just like in those other games, the real trick isn't how can I get more loot, but learning what loot to look for. In this video, we're going to cover the equipment system and what you need to know ahead of beta and launch. Keep in mind that things can change between now and launch, so this video is accurate as of the time of posting, but as you know, things can shift. So first, let's talk about our weapons that we'll be able to find and equip. Like those other games, these do come in a variety of flavors. We have Common, Rare, Ultimate, and Transcendent. Common is gray, Rare is purple, Ultimate is yellow, and Transcendent is red. Now, in my personal opinion, I really wish they would have stuck with the regular array of colors here, where Common is gray, Rare is blue, Ultimate is purple, and Transcendent is yellow, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not a huge deal. Now, every weapon will have a baseline stat system. You have DPS, attack, magazine size, and fire rate. But rare weapons and up come with extra affixes to look for. Now, these are bonus stats that'll help make the weapon more valuable. They can be increases to things like baseline stats, like an attack or a magazine size, or they can be bonuses to secondary stats, like elemental damage. Now, Ultimate is when things take a step even further. Here you have a special effect that's tied to the weapon. Now, not all Ultimates will have special effects, but some do, and this is where you'll start to see them. These can give things like buffs to yourself or your party, or they can inflict enemies with a specific debuff. There are a range of different effects. Some will synergize well with your chosen Descendant, others may not. So the question is, how can you easily tell if your ultimate weapon has a unique effect or not? Well, you can always check the tooltip, or you can check on the right-hand side of your weapon image. If you see 3 dots, then it does. Now, these unique effects can be enhanced by consuming another weapon that has a unique effect, sort of like a cannibalism type thing. This enhancement will increase your stats, and you can even take your previously enhanced weapon and carry that progress over to a higher level one in the future, so you're not wasting any of that enhancement investment that you've put into that weapon. Now, next is Transcendent rarity. So we don't have too many details on this rarity quite yet, but we do know that they come with a higher range of affixes than previous rarities, and they'll also have a unique effect as well. So we have seen a couple of these in previous betas, but I believe they're all tied to components or even a reactor. So it's not necessarily something like, whoa, we know everything about Transcendence, but we do know that it is a rarity that's coming. So you probably have the question, great, I have all these piles of loot. What do I do with all the spare weapons do I have? Do I just throw them away? Actually, no. You use them in what's known as a transmission process. This is going to allow you to take higher level weapons that you don't really care for and then consume them, similar to the ultimate enhancement process, to increase the rank of the weapon that you want. So for instance, let's say you have a level 1 scout rifle that you really like, and you have a level 6 shotgun that you're like, not really for me. You can sacrifice the level 6 shotgun to then boost the rank of your level 1, your favorite level 1 weapon, and that'll increase its damage and its stats. The only requirement is a consumable material called a phase exchanger that you can actually craft yourself from materials that you earn from dismantling weapons. So at a high level, that's how weapons work in the first Descendant. You go get the weapons you want, you break down the weapons you don't want, and you can either break them down and dismantle them into parts to then craft phase exchangers, or you can use them as consumption material in order to upgrade the weapons that you do have. So let's talk about the other pieces of equipment that we have. Those are components and reactors. So think of components like trinkets or gadgets. You can equip 4 of these, and they provide a variety of stats, things like increased resistances, maximum health, firepower, etc. But they also come in sets. If you manage to get 2 or 4 of a matching set, then you're going to unlock extra bonuses. So for example, here we have a set bonus for the Supernova set that grants extra electric power when 2 are equipped, and then a more powerful effect when all 4 are equipped. Now, weapons are how you dish out the damage, but components are really kind of a huge part of being able to actually make your character go. They're sort of the back end for building out a character, whereas weapons are the front end that are going to kind of take that power that you're building with components and then dish it out to enemies. So components, they're a drop from Void Intercept battles, which are boss arenas, and different bosses will drop a different set. So there's going to be some bosses you want to do more than others, depending on what Descendant you're trying to main. Outside of components and weapons, we have reactors. These are items that increase the power of Descendant skills. Each reactor has a skill type that supports it, and because of that, there are some that will match super well with certain characters and others that are virtually useless. For instance, you can have a reactor that dishes out ice damage and helps increase all of your ice skills. That's not going to be very useful to Blair, who is a fire-based Descendant. But it'll be way useful for a Descendant like Viessa, who deals primarily ice damage. The same goes for all the other Descendants. So being able to kind of pick and choose what reactors are going to work and understand these will work for this type of Descendant, but not for this type. Now, these reactors are going to boost your base stats along with specific skill power types like I mentioned. These can be optimized if you manage to reach a certain condition. This condition can range from multiple different things. The example we see here is that it requires a specific weapon to be equipped. And if it is, it'll increase your skill power by 160% instead of 100%. So these are the little things to watch out for when it comes to components and reactors. You want to make sure you're optimizing your reactor as best you can to get all of the juice that you possibly can out of it. Whereas components, if you can mix and match them to create a really, really cool set or get a set bonus out of them, then that's going to be more beneficial than just throwing on 4 random ones. So one last thing, reactors can also be upgraded to improve their stats. So what you see here isn't always what you get. You will be able to spend some consumable items in order to improve their power, just like virtually any other piece of equipment that we've talked about in this video. So everybody, that wraps this one up. That's a very quick overview of the equipment system in the first Descendant. In the next video, we're going to talk about modules, how they play into your Descendant, what you can do to upgrade your different Descendants, and we're going to keep this catch-up series rolling. Let me know what you think in the comment section below as to this equipment system, as well as what are your thoughts on this series? Has it been helpful so far? Let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you guys next time.